last time I was with you, I talked about my welder and the welding wire and the problems I was having, and that I think it could be the welding wire itself. So we're going to get in here and we're going to change this welding wire to something I've used before. Believe it or not, it's the Harbor Freight welding wire. Did not have any problem with this wire a few years ago when I did the floor pans in a 67 Mustang. Did some other welding with some other light welding, other sheet metal type welding. It's a Vulcan brand. This is actually made in Italy. This welding wire flowed smooth, and I actually got really decent welds out of it. What I have in here now is Hobart wire. You would think that flux core is flux core, but maybe not. So I'm going to get this spool off of here and get the new spool of Vulcan wire in, and we're going to try it out and see if that might be what the problem is. Alright, well, I don't know if you caught that or not, my time lapse, but I didn't maintain control of my spool. I had a momentary lapse and it bird's nested on me. When you cut this wire loose, you got to make sure that you hang on to the loose end or the spool will unravel. I'm just hoping that I got it welding back on there good enough that it doesn't tangle and bird's nest on me when I'm trying to weld. So anyway, let me get set up. We're gonna get in here and we're gonna see if this thing will weld any better than it did the other day. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit it with a wire brush. Try to clean up a little bit where this was ugly welding the other day. I actually probably ought to come in here with a grinder. Because the other day it was sure enough aggravating me. A lot of ugliness. I just don't understand what happened to this welder. And I don't think it's welding technique at this point. But that's alright, we're gonna figure it out. Let's see just how it does, just going off of just welding it like it is for now. It's pretty boogery, but I got a few clean places I think I can try to stick down a few welds. That's definitely gonna need to be ground down. A little light on the subject never hurt. Rusty metal, baby. can already tell there's a big difference. Got some places I got to knock down, places I got to grind down. It's still going to be an ugly piece. Definitely time for a grinding. Alright, since we last talked, I've been at it for, I don't know, hour and a half. Welding machine is working much better with this wire. It's still not real happy with rusty metal, and no welder ever is. But it is doing better on the clean metal. I can get a consistent weld, I can get a consistent tack. And the wire doesn't appear to be jumping all over the place. So we have prepped. As you can see, I got the floor pan sitting here. It is prepped and ready to go. So we're fixing to set up and try to do the initial tack in of this floor pan. It's a big day.
Ain't nobody stopping me.
That's a momentous day. Can finally say that I have the floor pan in on the passenger side. Good and solid. I still got to go back around, and I'm going to stitch weld around the outside perimeter of the patch panel, but I've got it plug welded. You know, if you've watched the earlier video on this, you saw where I went through my hole punch, went around all the edges, punched everything out, before welded, ground all my edges. I got all that, what do they call that, EPDM coating that's on the panel, scraped that off so I could weld, and then hit it with the, where's it at? I'll show you. Here it is. Weld through primer. It's your gray 2-in-1 zinc primer. Good stuff. If you're going to be welding any kind of bare metal, it's advisable to go ahead and put that in there. Supposedly it helps eliminate rust. These cars were rusting the day they rolled out of the factory. So, you know, hey, you do the best you can, slow it down, just enjoy the car. Well, one thing I did want to say, as you can see right here, there's a slight gap, which is what's left to finishing up this floor pan. And I just have to make a small filler panel to go from the seat riser to the floor pan itself. And it's a little section about that wide, so it's not really anything to it. That's going to do it for today. I appreciate you coming by the Real World Garage. And until next time, why don't you go out and watch another video coming on the screen right now.